next? I'm going to ask my assistant to help me. I'm not sure what slide. So next. Thank you. So I want to go do just a quick review of who I am. I was elected in 2004 to represent the riding of Langley. And in the election of 2015, the riding of Langley ceased to exist, and I'm now member of Parliament for Langley Alderman. And John Aldag is Cloverdale, Langley City. And that's why it's so important that we continue through continuity to provide, to work together. And shortly after the last election, I was appointed to be the official opposition critic for seniors. And one of the things that I'm encouraging the new government to appoint a minister for seniors, because it's such an important issue, and we will be dealing with some of those important issues today. But part of that appointment is to consult and listen and report back to the government what we're hearing. And I'm doing that, and I know John is doing that too. So in my parliamentary history next, when I was elected in 2004, within a short period of time, we found out how important constituent work is, meeting with people, constituents in the riding that needed help. And very shortly after being elected, and I had my staff, I've got an amazing staff. Kim was there in 2004, and Annette. We've got Jane in the back, and Morgan is somewhere over there with the camera. So I have 4 of my staff here today. Both Annette and Jane, Annette and Kim were started working together in 2004. We had a lady come in, and she said, she was from the Okanagan. Her sister was dying. I think it was brain cancer, and did not have long to live. So there's a program called Compassionate Care. And Compassionate Care allows somebody that qualifies for DI benefits to leave their employment and take care of a dying person in the last 6 weeks of their life. But there was a very strict list of people who qualified for this. And unfortunately, we'll call her Sue from the Okanagan, she came down. She did not qualify. Sisters could not take care of a sister. And a sister living in Langley had been taking care of mom, who was a senior and needed care. So there's actually 2 people that needed help. And Sue from the Okanagan did not qualify. So we worked on that, and that we found that we had a problem. It needed to be changed. And so it was about a year and a half of working and working and working, and we actually wrote the policy, and it was quite simple. Let the dying person choose who would be their care provider. And so in 2006, we had a change of minister, and I approached the minister, Diane Finley, and I said, would you please change this? You know I'm constantly working on this, and so the change was made. And we then continued, the last government continued to change and evolve Compassionate Care as we see there's more and more need for that. And I think it's a very important ingredient to probably take care of an aging population. So the Compassionate Care now was extended from the original 6 weeks now to 6 months. But again, it's an evolving program that we need to keep it up to date and make sure it's meeting the needs of Canadians. And as often and most common it is for seniors in the last days of their life, but not necessarily. And it could be anybody that is in the last days of their life, and we may need to make sure that they are receiving the care that they require to provide the dignity. Then the next one would be the GIS supplement. And it's very important that we take care of people that, for whatever reason, do not have the adequate funds to support themselves. And so I'm very happy that the government has, again, I've enjoyed working with a number of MPs over the years, and of all parties. And GIS improving the GIS is very important, and I'm glad the government announced it. But we're encouraging the government to expand it to include all seniors that are living in poverty, not just single seniors, because 30% of seniors in poverty are a couple together as partners or long-term marriage, and then they get separated to be able to qualify for the GIS benefit. So we're happy for the benefit, but we're also working with the government, encouraging them to, if somebody qualifies, if they're in poverty, that a couple should not be excluded. If they need help, then let's do the right thing and take care of them. So I am very happy to be working on that. I was on a special committee, so next slide please, called End of Life Care. And the Supreme Court made a decision ruling that we needed to permit assistance in death. And so John and myself were, that was very unique that neighboring ridings would be representing that, but it was an important issue for both myself, because I've been working on this throughout the years. And in the last Parliament, there was a motion that passed unanimously that Canada creates a strategy, a national strategy on palliative care. And we'll hear more about palliative care. And so John and I were both appointed to this committee, and we ended up with a bill, C-14, that passed. And it was a lot of work. It was a gut-wrenching experience and diverse opinions on all ends of the spectrum. But we had to come up with legislation to fill that legislative void. And so we have that as a first step. We will continue to look at that, see what's working, see what isn't, and then report back to the government to make appropriate changes to policies to meet the needs. Next slide is ongoing negotiations and consultations. And so I've been traveling around Canada, and today is one of those days of consultation. So we're really looking forward to hearing from our panelists, and really looking forward to hearing from you. Many of you have a medical background, and you'll be able to share with us right from the front lines what it's like, what needs to change, and how we can prepare for this. And when I say prepare for this, next slide, is the rapidly changing demographics. First time in Canadian history, there's more seniors than there is youth. Right now. And it's going to change and continue to change even more dramatically. Right now, we have 1 in 6 Canadians is a senior. In 6 years, Stats Canada has said, with our aging population changing so quickly, it'll be 1 in 5 in 6 years. In 13 years, it'll be 1 in 4. So this change, this demographic change is happening so quickly. And so we need to prepare for that, because what does that mean? Do we have the resources to, next slide please, do we have the resources to take care of this, our aging population? Do we build thousands of new care facilities? We can't afford to do that. It's not possible. So how do we care for our aging population? And we will be discussing that. And I believe that we need to make better use of healthcare, keeping people at home, because most people want to spend the last days of their life at home. And in Langley, I believe, it's the average person, the average stay in the care facility at Langley Memorial Hospital, palliative and end-of-life care, is about 18 months, I believe. And if we could, by keeping people in their homes longer, to keep the average down to a 9-month, through having more nurses, better palliative care, better training, which means we have to train more nurses. We need to have more physicians trained in palliative care, so that we are prepared and we are able to help people stay with dignity in their homes longer, because that's really where they want to stay. And then have the average stay reduced from an we would be able to accommodate the aging population. But that's just one idea. So I'd like your input on that. What I have heard, and the next slide please, to this point is a summary of what we've heard, that I will be reporting it to our leader and also the Prime Minister. Is number one, again, asked that we have a minister for seniors. We do have, the government has a minister for youth, used to be a minister for seniors. And I think with, this is the largest demographic group in Canada, seniors, and to us to have a focused, concentrated look at the issues of seniors that we're asking the Prime Minister to seriously consider appointing a minister for seniors. And then a national seniors strategy. Without a plan, without a target, you're not going to get there. So to be able to meet that need and be prepared and have proper dialogue, hopefully the government would begin to focus on a national strategy for seniors. As I said earlier, we are hearing and have for years, and even the last Parliament overwhelmingly actually unanimously passed a motion that Canada begin create a national strategy for palliative care, end-of-life care, which includes hospice care, and then a national strategy for dementia. That's a summary of what we're hearing. So next slide. I would really appreciate, before leaving, filling out a form and a comment form. And would you agree with that as the priorities that I'm hearing from other parts of Canada and from emails and online? If you could comment, do you agree with that? And then also, if you'd like to sit down and have coffee, I'd love to meet with you. But we need to work together to prepare to take care of our aging population. And so thanks for your patience. And I'm going to ask Dr. Avery from the Canadian Medical Association to be our next presenter. Is that, I think that's the order, Morgan, of the...
It's just on your sheet there.
It is. Thank you. Thank you.